need 15 yards on this series after the delay of gain. 1st and 15. Throwing is Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Out to kick is Janikowski. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And here now come the Falcons. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Ryan, and that is incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. A special teams mistake there, no doubt. Just 26 yards officially on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. But with that incompletion, let's look back, Charles, to the NFC title game. We had 2 excellent conference championship games, but on the NFC side, the Rams winning in overtime thanks to Greg Zuerlein. He had 2 huge kicks, but that was really overshadowed because afterwards, obviously, everyone talking about the no call.
Yeah, and we should be talking about Legatron. A 48-yarder to get them to overtime. The 57-yarder to win it in overtime. He should be the guy who should be exalted right now, but you're exactly right. Nikhil Roby-Coleman's hit on Tommy Lee Lewis in regulation. When I saw it live, thought it was a bang-bang play. Turned out, it was definitely a missed call. Plus, they missed helmet-to-helmet contact on it as well. So if you're a Saints fan, you are very unexcited about the Rams advancing to the Super Bowl, but I still don't want pass interference to become a reviewable call. The game flow is paramount to me. Let's not slow it down any more than it already is.
Yeah, it could be a slippery slope, then you start doing it with everything, right?
Next thing you know, we'll be reviewing holding. And by the way, you can probably call holding just about every play in the NFL.
The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down.
Hey, South! Hey, Tuesday.
From midfield now, here's Ryan. It's caught, Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first. Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Drops it off for Coleman. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw is Ryan. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Knocking it away there defensively, Justin Coleman. The Falcons on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Ryan will throw again. Just what Seattle was hoping for. The coverage holds, and now 4th down. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half. Final play of the 1st half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. Not much has changed since we left you at halftime. The snow still continuing to fall as we are back underway. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the 2nd half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators, they sell their key plays each and every week to the head coach, don't they? And I guarantee he's been selling this one. We can get it, coach, we can get it. And that came together with that sense of urgency you talked about.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And that one goes incomplete. They tried something out of the bag of tricks, but it's incomplete and now 2nd down. 2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Ricardo Allen there on the coverage.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Desmond Trufant, and they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, while we have a second here, how about we get bold and make a couple Super Bowl predictions?
Hey, why not? Let's go ahead and put ourselves on the spot.
Just more fodder for the angry people. What do you think? Who's going to win it? Who's going to be the MVP?
Well, my prediction for this one is the New England Patriots win the football game. They win it 32-30. The MVP, the McCourty twins, Jason and Devin. They both get 2 interceptions apiece, and instead of splitting the trophy, they wrestle for it right there on the 50-yard line post-game, because you know sibling rivalries, One always wants the upper hand.
Okay, that's bold. I'll go Rams on a Greg Zuerlein 44-yarder from the right hash as time expires.
44? That's nothing for him.
MVP Todd Gurley, 2 touchdowns, 1 catching, 1 rushing.
I like it.
There
You don't like the McCourty thing, though.
No, I do like that. If that happens, you're Nostradamus.
There you go.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game, the Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. Back in, where was it, 1959, 58, 59? That's when the NFL really came into prominence, and it was sudden death. Alan Amici, the Colts got the ball, they scored. No one talked about anything but, boy, what an exciting game. As time went on, people started talking about fairness. So the overtime rule finally got changed. If you score first with a touchdown, the game's over. Otherwise, you keep playing. I think that's pretty cool. And in our 2 championship games this year, we had overtime in both. Tom Brady and the Patriots won the toss, went downfield, scored a touchdown, ball game. Drew Brees and the Saints won the coin toss, threw an interception. The Rams kicked the field goal and won. Defense still exists if you care to play it.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he'll kick it away. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is caught. And the fake will work. He's going to have a first down. The fake punt gets him 13 yards. A huge play on special teams. It's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On first down, Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Freeman with a fast feet. And there he goes again. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Falcons. They'll have the football, but trailing on the scoreboard as we get set to begin the 4th. Freeman again, a first down carry. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
Ryan, and finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. Here we go. It's Ryan on 4th down. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper from 10 yards out. And the Falcons have cut it to within a score. So a big play coming for the Falcons as they'll go for 2.
Ready. White 25.
They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Tough there. Good pass. Hit the hands. He just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere. Seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Back to throw. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. Touchdown, Falcons. Calvin Ridley, 48 yards. And now the Falcons are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game.
The touchdown is huge, but the focus now is on the 2-point play. I don't want to say they have a cushion here, but if they don't get it, they still have a chance for onside kick.
Yeah, they would need some big-time help, but you're right. There would be a shot, but the focus right now on that 2-point conversion. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. Huge, huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. Throwing now is Wilson. Pushing his way inside the 40. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
Throwing right, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Obviously a big first down right there.
Yeah, they still got to hustle. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get set. But I don't think necessarily you need to spike it. But they've got to continue to move quickly.
Now Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And we now have a new single-game interception king, a record-breaking 5th pick there.
If that's not the true definition of a ball hawk, I don't know what is. That is absolutely phenomenal. What comes to mind quickly, partner, is one of the more recent ones to get to 4. D'Angelo Hall, a terrific player in his own right, but in this case, 5. That sets a brand-new NFL record.
The first play of the drive there is incomplete. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis. when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, now I thought you go on the field, but okay, I see you. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Throwing now is Ryan. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
That was a nicely executed block there. But sometimes it's not just the kicker who feels the pressure in this situation.
Well, I think a lot of people could feel pressure on the offensive side. The defense a little more loose with it.
Yeah, listen, they're just going all out trying to get to the football. And to your point, the offensive guys, okay, who do I have? Who am I blocking? If that changes in the defensive front, does that change what we do in our blocking assignment? And sometimes that confusion or that tightness can lead to a bad play.
And it keeps the game tied here late in the fourth. And he nailed it. It's good. Through the snowflakes, he finds a way to get it to go. And the Falcons are going to win the game. Oh, partner, there's something special about a game in the snow. Just always fun in these elements, although a little chillier up here in the open-air booth. The only thing that's not fun is that we got the mid-game notification that our flight was canceled tonight, but we'll deal with that later. It was really a fun game to watch, though.
It was, and there is something special about games played in the snow because the element of surprise really kicks in. You don't know how they're going to handle the ball, if someone's going to make a dramatic play just out of nowhere, and all of a sudden it just changes the course of things. But a big shout out to our crew to make sure that we were comfortable up here, as comfortable as one could be. In these elements, they took care of us and made sure we were dressed properly.
So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time. The NFL on EA Sports brings us to North Carolina and Bank of America Stadium here in Charlotte. Just a few moments ago, this building was shaking as the Carolina Panthers emerged from the tunnel here in Charlotte. They are ready to go as the Panthers are set to match up with the Houston Texans. Set for football now on a rainy Sunday afternoon. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first down throw, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Luke Kuechly. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. On second down, here's Watson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Third and long, it's Watson, and this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On first down, Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Newton. This one complete to Devin Funchess. And they move this all the way down to the 9. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A first red zone opportunity for the Panthers thus far. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess, and that'll bring up second down. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught 1 of the 3.
But that doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
Now Newton. And that is caught, but the bank judge right there to say incomplete.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you've kind of run out of your running plays. Fire another one into the end zone.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Again, Newton. And it'll be intercepted. It's It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line. Thomas, the intended target. This is Lamar Miller. Able to bust through the tackle, but not much to show for it. Still inside the 5. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From his goal line here, Watson caught here by Griffin. And he'll get this up to the 4 right about there, and that's about it. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And he'll try and hurry the kick, gets it away, but it's not looking that great. He'll take this inside the 40. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. Carolina getting set to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. With my good friend Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Panthers in possession of the football as we begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Here's Newton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 3rd down. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. J.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They snap it to Newton. Looking long for Thomas. And that is going to be incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And this Texans defense stands tall. Watson will bring up the Texans here 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. Some tough running, but it only gets him to the 45. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes minutes remain in a scoreless first half. Back with more from Charlotte after this. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. To throw on second is Watson. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
Following the fumble recovery, Newton. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. While we have a second, Charles, the Patriots, of course, back in the Super Bowl, getting the 37-31 victory over KC in the AFC title game. Great game, but, you know, the Patriots...
nobody believes in them.
Yeah, right. They're playing that underdog card, but I thought it was funny because after the game, they asked Tom Brady, were you guys just trying to use that for your own motivation? He said no comment because they were. They know they're not the underdog.
They know it, but when you've been that great for this long,
you need something.
You've got to find something different. And Tom Brady, I've got to give him credit. Somehow he made his team buy that and believe in it when no one else in the country did. And I think it really started with their first playoff game this year when the Chargers came to town. I know I picked the Chargers against them. A lot of people picked the Chargers. They took that as, well, no one believes in us. Everyone thinks we're not as good. They were just wrong about that part, and we were wrong about the Chargers beating them.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. Well, he caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch. And most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for moving the ball and stretching the field. Really nice open field tackle. When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. And the Panthers coming out now. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember...
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again. Newton. Unable to corral him. He fights through. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there at 22.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the third quarter. There are 0 points on the scoreboard for either side. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments were made. The defenses have obviously been great.
So if you like defense, this is a classic game. This is what you're looking for. But now you're trying to figure out how to gain any type of an advantage on offense. Is it through a big chunk play that they haven't seen before? Or is it just running your regular offense and running it better, trying to create an opportunity?
We'll see which avenue they choose to go down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. On 2nd and 10, Newton. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Here's Watson. And he finds his man Griffin. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. As his guys are in for 6. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now it's Newton. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there at 22.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Newton now. He's hit on just 5 of 15 throws, a poor percentage, but it's 1st and 10. Newton now to throw. And And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. As an inside linebacker, got to be a little bit more poised.
No doubt about it, because they get a little bit of flexibility, especially when they're trying to stuff a gap. You know, we get that double A gap look. This time he got too eager and got too deep into the backfield.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Newton throwing again. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, a Panther was able to get on this, so Carolina keeps the ball.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Throwing is Newton. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Here's Newton now on 2nd down. And his throw here's incomplete. Jonathan Joseph there on the coverage.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. DJ Reader coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. One score down, here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Newton now to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Will look to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that. So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. He was unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Back to throw. And this is caught for a touchdown. We'll check the flag, but it looked like a clear offsides, and it should stand. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Back to throw. And that will be incomplete as well. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively. Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
Here's Watson, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 3rd down, Miller. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken deep in their territory. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Till next time, we say so long from Charlotte.